It's your turn?
Yeah.
So, hello everybody. We are here to give you an introduction about the Chatbot at DC program from Bosch Rexroth. And one back. And this is based on those 5 main pillars that you can see here. And I want to start with giving you a very quick overview now about the whole program. And finally, we provide the necessary details later on for the single pillars. Now, let's start with a question, as a short question. What is the Chatbot at DC program all about? And the short answer is, it's a program from Bosch Rexroth to enable the Rexroth countries to develop their own chatbots. Now, this is quite a challenge in a company that's present in more than 40 countries globally, and that's why we decided to decentralize the necessary activities. And decentralization means that we hand over a lot of activities and responsibilities in the respective countries. And finally, this is the reason why we developed this program and set this up. Now, we want to continue with 2 smaller excursions, and after that we jump then straight away in the answering or in the explanation of the single pillars of this program. Özge.
So here we want to give you a little glimpse of how we have started, since when we have experience about it. So in 2018 we have started a program called Live Assist, which is a channel selector for country-specific communication channels. It's more like online chat, but we also have other channels like contact forms, emails, or phone numbers. Then, as you know, that Chatbot is seen as a virtual chat agent, so a logical consequence is to develop a first chatbot. So in 2019, we have started to develop our first chatbot, which is named Atlas, and it is an FAQ bot to relieve a little bit the US chat agents for more simple, frequently asked questions. And in 2020, we went live with this bot, and we have, regarding the first results we have seen a more relief than we have expected, which led us in beginning of 2021 to give it a start, our Chatbot at DC program. So now currently we have developed 16 chatbots, and 8 of them is already gone live. And also in this whole journey, our partner was Cognigy.
Okay, here I want to make a short excursion about some challenges we have with the integration into interfaces. And let's start with the front end here. Let's suppose there is a country developing a number of chatbots addressed to external customers. So we have to publish those chatbots to the customer. And the first impression is, of course, yes, we publish them all on our website. But this is not so simple in our company, since we are not the owners of the website. That's why we're running here very quickly out of space. So we need a plan B and we need a plan C. Plan B is we can integrate a number of those chatbots into the online chat, but this is only where it makes sense and depending on the content. That's why plan C is we started, and this is this problem here is now the reason why we started to develop a bot network with a concierge bot on top of this network. And in this bot network, we integrate then these chatbots addressed to external customers. Now we have the motivation for the development of the bot network, and we jump to the opposite end and talking a little bit about databases. First topic I want to start with is we use the Cognigy, of course, for the development of local chatbots. Then, but what is if one of those chatbots is now interesting for a global rollout? That means we come here into a challenge which I like to call content localization. And content localization means for the same intent we have different answers depending on the respective country. And we handle those cases by extracting those information out of the local chatbot or out of the original chatbot and store those information into an external database called here or named here the Chatbot DC database, which holds some further information, of course. So and the advantage for us is we prevent the chatbot, the former chatbot, to blow up more and more depending on the further countries where it is deployed. Now, another topic is worth to be mentioned, and this is, we have two different approaches how we use Cognigy. One is, of course, the development of conversational chatbots. That's not surprising here in this environment. But there is another approach, and this is that we use Cognigy simply as a tool for retrieving data. So from a customer perspective, it's simply a chatbot with a request for a very minimalistic input, let's say a part number, stuff like that. And then the chatbot is retrieving data out of various databases, and in reality, it is not really a chatbot, since it's just provide me exactly this kind of input, let's say a part number, and I retrieve data out of a database. Why do we do this? The advantage is, so we don't have any intents in this chatbot. That's very important. Why do we do this? Since the retrieval time of this procedure is very fast in comparison to the original system. So I'm talking here about CRM systems, I'm talking about ERP or PIM systems and so on. And we are exactly interested in this gap and the retrieval time between both approaches. This is where we make our savings. From our perspective, a very interesting approach. And of course, we have a possibility here to share those data with a very broad community of customers, partners, and so on. So, that's it to this topic, and then we can jump to the next one.
So the second topic was about qualification and certification. As we have mentioned, we have a more decentralized structure, and this means that we have to extend the knowledge among our countries as well. So we have built up such a pyramid, and in the bottom we are more addressing to the general public. So we are reaching out to the employees, Bosch Rexroth employees, to create awareness about chatbot. And how we do it, we have created some easy to understand introduction videos, which we are releasing in our Bosch Tube. Bosch Tube is an internal Bosch YouTube, so they can understand what is a chatbot, how they can use it, what's different with other bots, and some example use cases, so they can at least have we can increase their awareness. Then in the second part, which we say as the sponsors, we are here addressing to the management. So here we are creating more of an understanding of what are the necessary functional resources in addition to the budget. So we are here more talking about the value selling based on the KPI and the benefits. On the third level, we are more addressing to the key users. So we are having a more extended qualification for the key users which are sitting in the countries, and they are the actual bot owners. So we are giving them more detailed know-how about what chatbot is, what are the operations they are going to take over, and also a bit more detailed knowledge about use case definition. And at the very top of our funnel, we are, this is like more developer-based people we are reaching here out, and we are addressing to create either simple, so like FAQ bots, or more mid-sized bots. But also we are allowing them to make adaptations to the existing bot. So it's not just about creating a new bot from scratch, but also for adapting to the existing bots, which here we mean more like synonym list, dictionaries, contents. So yeah, this is the whole structure of our qualification and certification to employees around our company. And also a part of this decentralization, we are getting requirements for development. As you can imagine, when a department comes, I want to create my first chatbot, it's not so easy to train someone, a local employee there, to develop their first chatbot. So there we take that as a first proof of concept, but we have already contracted with a development partner inside the organization, so we can assist them in the development phase. So here I'm going to a bit briefly explain those 4 requirements. Of course, our development partner, we are a global company, and we are in this global development, we are working in different time zones. So this means that our development partner has to have more distributed and scalable resources in that sense. And they also have to have a willingness to grow into the topic together, because there's a know-how and we have to retain this acquired know-how together, for, in example, for low fluctuation. And also one very important thing, that we need one contact person for these development activities internally. So which here we say one face to the development team, because as you can imagine, when someone comes with a requirement, so many voices are popping up and it can create a huge chaos in the development team. The communication between business and the development team has always been a challenge. So having one contact person to being a bridge between the 2 parts is very important for us. And last but not least, the agile approach, because the work has to be done in agilely, because there's always change requests coming. In this digital environment, we mostly release the first chatbots in an early stage, which means that there's going to be a possible new requirements or new changes are going to come. So we have to work in that sense in a more agile way.
So then we come to the next topic. This is the lifecycle process and the demand management system. Here, the lifecycle process, of course, is providing the necessary guidance through the whole development jungle, and takes care that the necessary roles for data security, IT security, even the foreign trade office are getting involved in time and depending on the described use case, so that we support the compliance process in our company. The second thing is the demand management, which means that we store all the necessary information collected with this or regarding this use case in one place. And this is exactly a web-based tool which covers the lifecycle process and the demand management. And this information here, we start with the first description of the use case, with the first rough use case idea, verbal description, formal description, first KPI estimation, and so on. And this will be later on the contract, or the basis for a contract between the use case owner and the development team. And even if this is now a very short description, there is a lot of effort spent in the development of this process and to bring it live and to cover all the necessary data and IT security topics. From my perspective, this is the heart of the whole program, since everything we are doing is working around this program here. Next one.
So based on all these activities, as you may imagine, not just us, but all the bot owners in the countries are also interested how it's going, what kind of data we can see. So regarding this, we have created a Power BI cloud-based real-time dashboards. So we have created a connection between Cognigy.AI data and our lifecycle databases to connect different data sources together and create meaningful dashboards, both for us, for central team, for management, and the bot owners. So here we have built up a structure that we have created one overview dashboard, which we can see all the both bots which are in pipeline and development phase, but also the ones which are actively used. So we are tracking like the traffic, the time saved, the heat map, but also we have created for each individual bot which is already live their own dashboard. Of course, you can say that we are responsible for more than 40 countries, how we are going to create these individual dashboards. So we have built a template, a structure, which we are aiming for in the future when our live bots are going to increase immensely. We want to let them to take over this template and create those dashboards also according to their local needs more freely. Some takeaways as highlights what we have seen from the data we have received so far, we can say that the customers has really accepted the 7/24 self-service. Here you are seeing a traffic heat map which shows in which time hours, in which days and hour slots that the customer is reaching us. So the difference between when just agent is answering versus when just a chatbot is answering is differing this heat map a lot. So for some countries which were not so willing to accept the fact that, oh, the customers, why would they call, like, why would they like to chat with us on weekends or like 5 a.m. in the morning, but this happened. So this was also a very good picture for them to see the reality and to be a best practice for other countries. What we have also seen that, especially regarding our first chatbot we have developed, we have increased 15% the leads that we have get when we compare when there was no chatbot there. And we have seen that the chatbots has taken over the 80% of the chat agent capacity, which is, we can say, like a very huge amount. This also kind of motivated the other countries to bring up their use cases and develop their own chatbots.
Okay, now we come to the concierge bot, which is positioned on top of the bot network. Now, there are different approaches you can choose for the development of a concierge bot. We've decided for an approach where the concierge bot is kept quite stupid. Quite stupid means we have no own intent systems here in the concierge bot, so the concierge is not able to decide out of itself which of the related client bots is best able to answer the customer's question. Why did we choose this approach? Simply because so in this environment, it's necessary, of course, that the concierge bot connects to the client bots to use the intent systems and the NLUs of the clients. Now, the advantage from our side is if we keep they both decoupled, then we can speed up the development of the client bots dramatically, since the development is independent from the development from the concierge bot. Now, if we next question is, how does it work? So the customer is communicating only with the concierge bot. The concierge bot takes over the question from the customer and forwards it, in this case, currently to an external function because of some technical reasons. And this external function now is responsible for forwarding and distributing this question to the respective clients. And the second task is to collect the results out of the clients and make some processing, some ordering, and send the whole result back to the concierge bot. Now we follow up with the simplest case, and the simplest case in this respect is we have only one client that is able to provide an answer, and this single client is returned to the concierge bot. The concierge bot then establishes a fixed connection with this client bot and forwards the next question only to this client bot, to this fixed connected client bot. Why can we do this? Simply because we assume that the next question will come with a very high probability out of the same knowledge domain. So that's how it works. And the concierge bot, of course, has some further jobs to do and some further tasks. One is, for example, is working as a moderator. That means it keeps the customer always informed about where he is currently connected to, or when we have a switch between two bots, two client bots. And she's also working as an operator insofar that we have a lot of exceptions that need to be handled. And that's a task of the concierge bot. So one of those exceptions could be, for example, we have not only one client bot that's returning a result, but we could also have 2 or 3 or none. And these are the exceptions that are handled by the concierge bot. So that's for the concierge bot.
So we would also like to show you a little demo of one of our latest bots, which is, we kind of renewed a system called Contact Locator, which we were showing to our global customers, our Bosch locations and our partners' locations regarding the input they have been giving. And here in this demo, we would like to show especially what we have done. We have used the Cognigy web chat interface, but we have customized their web chat interface with a CSS style sheet, and we have got some, we have get the data from, so to say, adaptive cards. And here in this demo, you are seeing that when we click one of the results, contact results, we can both, we have a Google Maps integration, and it's bidirectional. So when someone clicks on the list to the Google Maps, they see the pins of the contact, but they can also do the same vice versa. When they click one of the pins on the Google Maps, they can see them, they can find themselves directly on the contact list, which that contact belongs to. So yeah, this was one of our latest chatbots that we have. We are gradually going live with it in several countries. And yeah, thanks for listening to us.